Expansion packs. Expansion packs are a pretty cool idea that Skylanders brought to the table. Sadly, not every game included expansion packs. Those two games being Skylanders Giants and Superchargers, which could have helped those games out a lot, seeing as Giants only had 16 chapters and Superchargers had 13, two of the more shorter games in the series. Spyro's Adventure had 4 expansion packs, Swap Force had 2, Trap Team had 4, and Imaginators had the most out of any game with 5. That was probably because Imaginators had the least amount of base game chapters out of any game. But I think that Skylanders should have incorporated these more. I think it would have been cool for at least every game to have expansion packs. I think that would have been cool. And I do like every expansion pack, except for a couple which we'll get to in a minute. Now, these expansion packs were pretty fun in my opinion, and while yes, they do cost money, you always get a Skylander with it, and in some cases, magic items or Imaginators that you get a creation crystal or even creation parts. You also get a cool figure that comes with the new level, unless you're Imaginators, because only Griffin Park Observatory and Enchanted Elven Forest had figures for them. It was kind of strange, but just go with it. Anyway, like I was saying, these expansion packs I think are pretty cool because you get an add-on to a game. You get extra levels, extra things to do after the game's over, you know, have a little more stuff to do, a little extra add-on to the story. Now, these extra levels have nothing to do with the actual story in the main game. It doesn't really even matter when you play these games. You can play the expansion pack levels before the main game, in the middle of the main game, or even after the main game. It doesn't actually really matter what time you play the expansion packs at, because they really have no correlation with the story at all, which I wish they actually did have some correlation with the story. I think that would be cool. I think that they probably should have had at least something to do with the story, because I mean, it is part of the game, but I see why they don't. It's just supposed to be a fun little adventure that you can do after the game or before the game. And honestly, I think more platformer games should have these type of things, like DLC levels, maybe for Crash and Spyro. I know that people don't like DLC a lot, but honestly, like in Crash and Spyro, if you get like 2 or 1 extra like hub worlds for like 10 or 20 bucks, I think that would honestly not be that bad. I know a lot of people might disagree with me on that, but that's fine. I just would like to see more levels in those games because I like Crash and Spyro games. But let's get to talking about these expansion packs more individually. So in SSA, the 4 expansion packs were Empire of Ice, Pirate Seas, Darklight Crypt, and Dragon's Peak. And I like all these levels. I think they're all great expansion pack levels in the game. I like that we got another pirate level, which I think would have been pretty cool. And we did get it, which kind of had a beta versions of Skystones. It was nothing like Skystones though, but it was a card game. It was basically just a memory game, and it was a fun addition to the game. Nothing like Skystones, but you can tell that they probably had some inspiration from that. I think it makes it more stand out from the crowd with that. Another weird thing though about these expansion pack levels from SSA is all of them seem to have some sort of boss fight, even though there might not be a health bar in them. And in this level, the boss battle is an island that you just attack and destroy. So yeah, Empire of Ice is also a very good expansion pack level. There's a great soundtrack for it. I love this level. It's a cool level. It came out near Christmas, I believe, and it was an ice level, so perfectly fits. You know, going through the level is fun, but there is one thing. The boss fight at the end of the level is a wall. Yeah, the boss fight is a freaking wall. So obviously that is weird, but the rest of the level is great. The next one is Darklight Crypt, and I love this level as well. Well, I have never really been a big fan of switching realities within levels like Fizzland or Tower of Time, but in this level, I actually like it. I also like how we see Oculus the entire level and finally get to fight him. Like, he's kind of just taunting us throughout the entire level. I think that's pretty cool. And while the boss battle is nothing really special, it's leaps and bounds better than a wall. So, it's a pretty cool level. And then finally, we got Dragon's Peak. I really like the soundtrack of this level and the way they're going about it, but I don't know what about it. It's probably my least favorite expansion pack level in SSA. There's nothing wrong about this level. I don't think they could have done anything more to make it better, but I just like the other ones better than this one. Again, still not a bad level, but this was the last level in Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, and honestly, I think it's a pretty fitting level as the last level of Skylanders Spyro's Adventure because it's a dragon-themed level, which is pretty cool, I think. Then we get to Giants, and like I said before, no expansion packs in Giants, sadly, but there was a dragon cannon that gave you battle arenas, I think. That's kind of cool, but I kind of like Giants, you know. I think Giants is pretty cool, so it would have felt less like a giant DLC for Spyro's Adventure if they actually had DLC levels in Giants. You can play the DLC levels from Spyro's Adventure in them, but that doesn't count. They're the exact same levels. Now we got Swap Force. This game has the least expansion pack levels out of any of the games that have expansion packs. It only has 2. I really wish this game had 4 because not counting boss fight levels, which I don't count as levels because for some reason they try to pass off boss fight levels as levels. It's weird. But if you don't count those, which I don't, there are only 12 base game levels, giving it only 14 levels in total with the expansion packs. This is why I think there should have been more. Anyway, the expansion packs are definitely not as good as SSAs. They might actually be the worst out of the entire series because there's only 2. Tower in Time, in my opinion, is just fine. It's just okay, not really bad, not really good, in my opinion. But we do get introduced to Captain Cluck, so it gets points for that because I love Cluck. I think he's a cool villain. But then Shipwreck Isle. What can I say except what the heck? This level is so weird yet boring at the same time. It's a slog to get through, and I can't explain it. I don't like playing this level at all. It is so bad. And on top of that, the Swap Force levels are already super long, making this horrible experience even more horrible because I have to go through it for a super long time. Definitely contender for the worst level in the game. Okay, Trap Team. This game goes back to having 4 expansion pack levels. Let's go. And it's a pretty welcome one because the last game only had 2. And this game would have already been the second longest game at 18 base chapters. But now you get 22 with 4 expansion pack levels with Toys for Bob. You've done it again. Bad Vicarious Visions. How about next time you make us better expansion packs? Just like SSA though, all the levels in the expansion packs, they're good levels. Even cooler, 2 of the levels are based around the new dark and light elements. That's pretty neat, and I think they're both amazing introductions to these elements. Both Luminous and Nightshades have cool boss battles. Nightshades is a bit weird at the end though, but both Doomlanders are really good villains once you trap them. So these levels are both great, and I would recommend playing them if you ever get the chance, because like I said, they are good introductions to the light and dark elements. They fit perfectly with the light and dark elements, and then you get 2 cool villains at the end. Mirror of Mystery is probably my least favorite out of these levels. Again, nothing bad with it, I just like the other ones better, but the concept is actually really quite cool in this level. A level in a place where everything is reversed. So Eon is now Evilon and is evil, Chaos is now a good guy, the Trolls are good guys, and Mabus are bad. Flynn is evil, and his catchphrase is now Doom instead of Boom, which actually now that I think about it was Chaos's catchphrase, so way to be original, Flynn. Whatever. Persephone is also bad. So this level is a cool one-off gimmick inside of the level, and I think the level itself is pretty fun as well. You finally get to trap the Chompy in this level, which is weird because the Chompies should be good in this level, but I guess the Chompies will always be bad. You can also trap a Mabu called Mablobs, which I have less to say about. He's just a Mabu who throws bombs, that's about it. But I really like how they also, in this level, renamed the Mabu Defense Force to the Mabu Offense Force. I think that's pretty cool. And finally, we get to the Nightmare Express. I am pretty sure this level takes place in Flynn's head, because everyone around in this level just is constantly talking about how much they like Flynn. It seems like Callie actually has some sort of feelings for Flynn and says it out loud now. And everyone's just talking about how Flynn is epic, which sadly doesn't happen in the real Skylander. So yeah, this level probably takes place in Flynn's head. But this level's pretty cool. I like the design of it. You get 2 pretty cool villains. Trolling Thunder, which is a freaking tank, and Lobgoblin, which is the light element. That's pretty cool. I like how you get to ride the train at the end. I think that's pretty cool. And how you try to, in the very beginning, try to find the Trolley Grail. That's pretty funny. But the end of this level is actually really hilarious, and it caught me off guard when I first played it.
And that, my friends, is how Captain Flynn recovered the Trolley Grail, saved the day, and rode the Nightmare Express, which definitely wasn't as scary as the name might suggest.
Well, I told Vicarious Visions to make better expansion packs levels, but this time, they didn't even do it at all. And I know, I am not counting the race packs, okay? You don't get levels, you get racing levels, which is fine, but to the people who actually play actual Skylanders, it's a kick in the shin. Because, oh, you get expansion packs, but no, not for the regular game, you dumb idiot. You get it for racing levels, which I don't like racing in Superchargers. So, yeah, another reason why Superchargers is my least favorite Skylanders game. Better luck next time, VV. Oh, wait. And finally, we are at Imaginators, the game with the most expansion packs, having 5 expansion packs. Unfortunately, Toys for Bob did not make every expansion pack level good, and like their previous games. Griffin Park Observatory might be one of my least favorite levels, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me with this, but Thumpin' Wumpin' Island just isn't it for me. I know a lot of people like this level, but for me, I just don't like this style of level and how it's set up like a crash level. We'll get into that though. Let's talk about the better ones though, in my opinion. So first, Enchanted Elven Forest. This level gives me Treetop Terrace vibes, which I love. Now I know this level got heavy inspiration from that level, but I can't help to like this level. It works, especially because it's supposed to be Stealth Help's home. I love the design of it. The boss is weird, and it's not that tough, but it's a welcome addition. And the Skylander you get for this level is pretty cool. Next is Cursed Tiki Temple. After so long, I actually finally got this level in October, I believe. And I might be a tad biased because it is the first new part of Skylanders I have ever played in the past 4 years. It's the newest thing I've ever played in Skylanders. I've not gotten any new content for Skylanders in 4 years, and then I finally got Cursed Tiki Temple. So I might be a bit biased, but when I played it, I loved this level. I think it was pretty cool. So the first part of the Cursed Tiki Temple level is the Cursed Tiki Village, I guess you can say. And this part is pretty fun with cool areas. It's very Tiki themed, and I like that. But then we get to the section of the level that's the dragon, and you have to go through like these trials of the dragon or something like that, and it's pretty fun actually. Like each level, each room is different. You get to go through these, I guess, trials. Not really that hard though. And then eventually we bring Bob back to his place he was supposed to be at, and we save everyone in the Cursed Tiki Temple. So I think that's pretty cool, and it's one of the better Imaginators levels in my opinion. Same with Lost Imaginite Mines. This level is the last ever Skylanders level, and when I played it for the first time, it was pretty bittersweet. But this level is great. The beginning of it, where you're like, I don't even know how to explain where you're at, but you're like in this magic place that you can pull and push object towards you, and I like that. And then you get to the cave, which is I think is, it might be part of the ancients. Like, I think the ancients built it because inside of the cave, it looks like the inside of the cave that was in the first chapter. So I think that the ancients built this. But yeah, we're going through it, and then Blobbers, which is the main NPC of this level, which I love, gets a bit out of his mind and sets off an alarm because he tries to restart Skylands basically because he wanted to make it in his image. Yeah, and then we had to go through the level. We have to and I'm not a big fan of how we have to wait for this giant Imaginite block to follow us, but other than that, it's pretty cool. Then we get to the Rubble Maker, which I thought would be an awful boss fight, but it's actually okay. It's definitely not as bad as I thought it'd be. Definitely not like a great boss fight, but it's a good boss fight, and I didn't really expect that. And he also looks like Blastertron, so that gives him points. Anyways, it's a good boss fight, and it's actually the last ever boss fight and last ever level in Skylanders ever. So it is pretty bittersweet whenever I played this, but I really like this level. Okay, let's go on to the worst 2 expansion packs in this game. Like I said, I can't really say that much about Thumpin' Wumpin' Islands, except for how I just don't like how they use the crash method to style this level. It feels like a crash level, which I just don't think works in a Skylanders game. But I can see why people love this level. I can fully understand why. I'm just not a big fan of the crash style of level and how it looks, and I just don't really like playing through it. I'm usually just bored whenever I play through it. So I can understand why you like it, but personally, I don't like it. Then we get to Griffin Park Observatory. Man, this level is bad. I can see what they're going through. An open world approach to this level. And like I said, I would love to see an open world Skylanders game, but they botched it so bad in this level in my opinion. First of all, the level is not good to begin with. Just how it's set up, it could never be a good level, because basically the theme of the level is you gotta get eggs in certain places. And maybe if they made the locations of the eggs a bit different, but it's not. Basically, you go up a hill, get an egg, go up a hill, get an egg, or maybe sometimes go downhill, get an egg, but that's about it. If they actually change the themes of each level, maybe a jungle area, a water area, you know what I'm saying? It would have actually been cool, like an actual open world, but no, it's not like that. And the level design is fine, but it's just so boring to get through. All the parts in the level are the same. You go to one part, find an egg, and then the worst part is You have to get a torch to go through some areas, and I'm telling you, finding all the collectibles, I think literally took me years to find, because they're just hidden so hard, and I just hate this level. I don't like it, and it sucks, and it's definitely a contender for the worst level in any Skylanders game ever. So yeah, it's pretty bad. But sadly, Toys for Bob could not give us all good expansion packs like they did in the past, but hey, it's cool. They gave us 3 good expansion packs, in my opinion. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about expansion packs in the comments below, guys. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching.